disappointing home loss with a great crowd. Thought the student section was great. Make sure we thank them because love to keep getting them out. Hopefully we play some better basketball for them. But, I thought their physicality bothered us on both ends. On their offensive end, I thought, they ducked us in, hurt us in the first half. Our bigs needed to do a better job. Our guards couldn't get downhill. They were very physical on our drives, couldn't really get in the paint to create much. So I think we were 12 of 32 from two on the night, which, we'd been one of the best field goal percentage teams in the country. We had number one offense in the country on KenPom. Like, a lot of it was able to get to the rim, finish at the rim. They didn't have real rim protection, but they just didn't let you get to the rim. So, they did a great job. We finished 10 of 24 at the rim, so didn't handle their physicality well. And then when you're not getting downhill, creating help, your threes end up being tougher threes. We didn't shoot as well from three, so we got to do a lot better job. I thought defensively we were good. I think they were a .92, if I remember right, in the first half, which, again, that's like top three defense in the country. We did it for 20. Offense struggled. Defense kept us in the game. Then offense came alive in the second half. I think we hit 3 straight threes, went on a 9-0 run, go up 7. They call a timeout, and then we don't have enough defensive pride right now to get stops out of that timeout. I think they go on a 13-0 run, 16-2 run, I believe, out of the timeout. Like, we got to get some defensive pride about us, all of us. Those guards coming off the screens, we're not into the ball enough. We're not up into it. They just, Gerard's good. They got really good players, and we got to do a better job. This is multiple times where the other team's best player or players goes for more than their season average. It's P.J. Hall with 21 and Gerard with 16 and Chase Hunter with 15. Like, we got to do a better job on the guys that we know that they're going to go to, particularly out of a timeout when we go on a run and get a lead. So we got to get better on defense. We know what we got to do. We got to show some pride. I got to do a better job coaching it. We got to do a better job as a program getting our team better on defense.
Yeah, you talked about their physicality. I know how important toughness is to you for your players. Where would you assess the toughness of this group is at right now in terms of defense and offense?
Not where it needs to be. You look like, on the defensive end, we kept getting ducked in. The offensive end, you kind of look at, I did think some guys showed some toughness, and different guys showed it at various times. Like some of our guys that we know can be tough had some plays where they're not tough. So you got to do it for 40 minutes. Like, if you look at the rim finishing, we're 10 of 24. Like, we didn't finish at the rim. I thought their physicality kind of got to us a little bit, and and then on the defensive end, giving up the duck ins, and Shefflin had 14 rebounds. Our bigs got to do a better job rebounding the ball. Like, Grant ends up with 8. This definitely wasn't one of his better nights. He didn't finish well, and he's our leading rebounder with 8. We got to get some more guys that rebound the ball a little bit better. It ends up even on the glass. A lot of that's because our guards rebound the ball so well, and we got pretty even rebounding. But they got a big that dominated the glass. 2 really, 14 and 8 between Shefflin and Hall. So, we're definitely not tough enough to be competing for an SEC championship right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, Mark and Aaron kind of carried the load tonight offensively. Is there any kind of consistency or confidence issues with the rest of the guys on the offensive side of the floor right now?
Yeah, there may be. We get Grant ends up with 14, but it took him 15 shots to get it. He's got to be more efficient for us. Ryland's a better player than what he showed. Ryland can make shots. I need Trelly to get a little bit more aggressive. Plays 22 minutes, only shoots it 4 times. I think he's passing up some open shots he's got to take for us. We do need to get some more production from some of these other guys. If we get Sam a little bit better on defensive end, he can really shoot it on offense. We can keep him in a little longer. I didn't think our guards did a great job getting our bigs involved, as much ball screens. Pringle plays 21 minutes, only gets one shot at 10. He's one of the best field goal percentage shooters, and he takes shots he should make, and he makes them. Like, we got to get him more shots. Whether it's ball screens, we got him the one, he goes 1 for 1. Like, we got to do a better job doing what we should be doing offensively to get some other guys involved for sure. And then some other guys just got to make some shots at some point too, to be honest with you.
You mentioned the student section showing out, but Jay Williams on air said that the crowd sounded like a tennis match. Did you have a response to that, and how would you feel from the energy?
Yeah, at times I'm sure it did. They did they called the timeout. When I heard the crowd was great at times, and then we got to give them something to cheer about, to be honest with you. Like, come out and go on a 13-0 run, people are going to get quiet. We need the crowd to kind of cheer us on to some stops. We also need our players to make some plays to get the crowd into it sometimes too. Like, we made some in the first half. We had to play where Grant dives on the floor, kicks it up, ends up in Mo's hands. We get there's hustle plays, blue-collar plays, toughness plays. When you give up multiple offensive rebounds in one possession, it's deflating. It's deflating to the coaching staff. It's deflating to the crowd. Crowd gets a little upset with a lack of effort, as they should, and we got to do a better job making those tough effort plays that the crowd appreciates around here, and I think the crowd will get into it a little bit more.
Mo Wagi got his first start tonight. What did you think about his performance in the starting five?
Look, I love Mo. Plays hard. He's about the right stuff. He's always got a smile on his face. He's studying it. He's he did good in his minutes. I think he's a little foul prone. We got to get him to guard without fouling. We got to get him to convert a little bit better from the field. He missed a few shots, but it's his first year in the system. He missed the entire summer with a foot injury, so he's really only started practicing full go really right before our first game. So he's missed the entire offseason. So, everything with Mo you got to take with a grain of salt, because he didn't get the reps he needed to all offseason because of the surgery he had to have when he got here. But he's a great kid with a lot of athleticism, and he's got the right heart, the right mindset. He's going to give us some quality minutes throughout the year. I thought he did good in his minutes tonight.
Earlier, Aaron was in here. He said he didn't think the offense was a problem for the team. So, how do you assess that, and what can you do better?
Yeah, we ended up with a 1-1. That's average. It wasn't elite like it's been. It wasn't number one in the country like it's been. The issue was when you prove for 20 minutes you can hold them to a .92 on defense like we did in the first half. Turn around the second half, we were a 1.49. My guess would be he's referring to that. Our offense was good enough to win this game. If our defense, even if we were a 1-1 in the second half instead of a 1, we almost gave up a 1-5, which would be the worst defense in the history of college basketball. That's what we were for 20 minutes. So I'm guessing he was just referring to the fact if we lock down, if we play anywhere close to like we did in the first half and the second half, our offense was good enough to win the game, which it was. Now, would we like to be better in the 1-1? Yeah, we would. But they're a good defensive team. They had some physicality. We weren't used to it. We got to do a better job. This is great, though, because, in basketball, you don't have to win every game to make the NCAA tournament. Football's one loss is, it's tough. Football's tough. Four teams get in the playoffs right now, and one loss can mess up your whole playoff run for you. In basketball, we can get our act together and make the NCAA tournament, go on a run, and play for a championship. Well, we're going to play teams in our, we're trying to win SEC championships. They're a big deal around here. We try to win them. If we're competing, some programs act like the SEC regular season or SEC tournament don't mean that much. They mean something to us. We're trying to, if we're in something, we're going to try to compete and win it. So winning the regular season and the tournament's a big deal to us around here. We're going to play tough, physical teams in the SEC, like a Tennessee, that's going to do similar like what happened to us tonight. We got to be ready for it. So playing a tough, physical team like Clemson with a lot of veteran guys that cause us problem on our offensive end, it's good for us. So we got to go to the drawing board. We got to figure it out. We got to come in. But I can assure you most of our time for the next, until we figure it out, practices, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks is going to be about 90% on the defensive end. Like, our offense has enough firepower, and we'll make enough tweaks to get where our offense needs to be. We got to get some defensive-minded guys that can play for 40 minutes on the defensive end. All right, appreciate you guys.